Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of On the Glass. It has been quite some time since we have been here, but sports are finally starting to kick back into gear. You got the NBA, the NHL, and MLB all playing. But today, the reason that we are filming an episode of On the Glass today is over college football and college athletics. It just came out a little bit ago that the Big Ten has decided to cancel all fall sports for the 2020 season. The SEC is currently meeting. The athletic directors and the presidents are currently meeting in the SEC. The ACC will soon follow, followed by the Big 12 and the Pac-10. Where to even begin with this? You have colleges, administrations coming out and canceling fall sports, and mainly we're talking about football here, while their players, their student athletes, are going on social media and using the hashtag We Want to Play. And this movement, the We Want to Play movement, has taken off. And there has been thousands upon thousands upon thousands of tweets and Facebook posts and Instagram posts of these players, mostly star players, coming out and saying that they want to play, yet their colleges and their universities that they represent is coming out and taking that opportunity from them. And it's all because of this coronavirus. Let's talk about this. Let's discuss this. The coronavirus has been around since March, and there has been some drastic steps taken by local, state, and federal government to combat the coronavirus. It's a very real thing. There's no question about that. However, I question whether or not canceling sports and canceling college football is the answer. The reason that I question that is because recently we've been hearing reports and stories that there have been many false positive tests. There has been evidence of inflated numbers all over the country. So we're not even exactly sure how many cases of the coronavirus that there actually are. Not to mention that the mortality rate of the coronavirus right now is 99.8 to 9% in favor that you're going to survive the coronavirus. So why are they taking all these drastic measures? Not to mention, like a lot of these players have said in their social media posts, it is safer for a lot of them to be at school because right now on campus, they are the only ones there. And a lot of these big time programs, your University of Louisville's, your Florida's, your Florida State's, Georgia, Alabama, Clemson, USC, Notre Dame, the list goes on and on and on. The big time programs, they have far better protocols than most local governments do. They're testing these kids all the time. They are isolating these kids to just the teammates. The coaches are wearing masks. Player personnel's wearing masks. It is safer for them to be on campus and practicing football at this very moment than it is for them to be out in the general population like you and I are. Yet, these colleges and these universities are suspending or canceling the football season. For what reason? This is the culmination and then another step to these kids' future. This is what they want to do. They want to play football. And you hold these kids to a higher standard than all your other students because they represent your college or university. And you're taking this from them. You expect them to play and to represent your college, your university. And you profit off them drastically. The amount of money that you make off these kids is insane money. And you profit from them because they're the ones that sell this memorabilia and this gear. But yet you won't let them play the sport that they love to play. And in turn of that, you're going to cost yourself millions of dollars of TV revenue, of stadium revenue, ticket sales, gear sales. You're costing yourselves lots of money. And then what are you going to do? You're going to go to the government and ask for a handout and a bailout because of decisions that you made, and you're undermining these kids' desires to play football. It's ridiculous. But yet you're still on the path to hold in-person classes in a few weeks. What sense does this make? I'm not saying you got to allow fans in the stands. I'm not saying that. Although I think there is a good plan for seating to make that happen as well. But at least let these kids play football. And there are other sports in the fall that they want to play. You've already taken the basketball players away and the baseball players away. Let these kids play. You're making all these drastic decisions on a virus that has a 99.9% survival percentage. Come on. Is it worth doing all this for 0.1%? But I guess if you let people in, you're still going to sell corn dogs, hot dogs, hamburgers, French fries, and deep fried foods and all that, and beer and all that, right? We won't talk about that. We won't talk about the promoting of the heart disease with the fried food. We won't talk about the probability that somebody gets drunk at one of your football games and goes out and kills somebody in a drunken driving accident. We won't talk about that. Let's just talk about the coronavirus. Come on. When did common sense abandon everybody? Let these kids play. These kids want to play. And if the other Power 5 leagues besides the Big Ten decide to play, then those players from Big Ten schools like Ohio State, Michigan, Purdue, Penn State, and all those other schools in the Big Ten should be allowed to transfer and be active to play this year because of decisions that you're making that are ridiculous. What is going to be the line in the sand for this stuff? What is going to be, when are we just going to decide to go back to normal? Or a semblance of normalcy? What's it going to be? Are we going to just continue canceling and postponing life because of this virus? When you have heart disease, you have cancer, you have the flu, you have pneumonia, you have diabetes, you have all these diseases that people get every single day that we don't put life on hold for. What's going to be the stopping point? Yes, cases are spiking in certain parts of the country. That is true. What is also true is we don't know if those numbers are actual or not. And the death rates across the country are going down because these doctors and these nurses are finally figuring out how to treat this stuff. So what is going to be the line in the sand? Common sense has eventually got to take over. And for you to not say that we can't have fans in the stands of this, check this out. You sell 2 tickets. You and somebody in your household. 2 tickets. These rows in these stadiums and arenas are typically, I'd say, 15 to 20 seats long, right? So you start on the end, 2 seats. You leave 2 seats open, 2 more seats, 2 more seats. And then in the row behind you, you stagger it. It's not hard to figure this stuff out. There is ways to circumvent this virus and to keep living life as normal as possible. But people are making that harder and harder to do because they're making rash decisions and split-second decisions without considering anybody else in the process. You make money off these kids. They want to play, let them play. It's as simple as that. As always, agree with me, disagree with me. I'm feeling like we're going to open up a can of worms here. Hit those comments below. Let me know what you're thinking. I respond to every comment. Like and share this video. Be sure to hit the big red subscribe button down there. We're about to get back going to business here on the Glass. The NBA playoffs are going to start next week. And we're going to start talking about some stuff again. It's almost time to start talking about some Jacksonville Jaguar football again. But please subscribe, like this video, comment on this video, and always be sure to check out the sponsors of this program. I'd like to remind you about my friends at Shady Rays. If you're in the market for some new sunglasses, I promise you can't get any better than Shady Rays. Go to shadyrays.com, go shop there. They offer free lifetime warranty on them. If you lose a pair, break a pair, hit up Shady Rays, tell them what happened, and they'll send you a free pair in the mail. If you're in the market for some new sports gear, be sure to check out my friends at Sportsmania. They're located in Jacksonville Beach, sportsmania.com as well. Comment, like, subscribe, and we're going to start doing this a lot more often. Again, sports are back, but I'm just really frustrated right now with the NCAA and the Big Ten and the other Power 5 conferences. This stuff is getting way out of hand. We are seeing a decline in the coronavirus, and stuff is still getting messed up all over the country. So that is it for this episode of On the Glass. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment, and we will see you next time on the Glass.